Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now May 8th of 2023. We are just a couple of weeks away from when the Ahsoka Tano series marketing begins. This of course includes a lot of new photos, a lot of new interviews that John and Dave will be giving out for the show, and let's not forget about this July, which is reportedly said to be the month that will actually hold the final trailer of the Ahsoka series that's going to give us a full face reveal of Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. And without further ado, let's get right into what's going on here. So what's really interesting is that we know that Bob Iger is on a roll right now. He wants to focus on Star Wars movies again. He is a little bit at a standstill right now with Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy wants to James Bondify Star Wars movies by releasing one every 2 or 3 years. Meanwhile, Bob Iger, on the other end of the spectrum, wants to make Star Wars movies into an annual event, which I think honestly is better if and only if the movies are quality driven, right? If you have movies that are not quality driven, then sure, you're going to have fan fatigue, fans are going to feel burnt out, and it's not going to work. So I know a lot of fans out there have been very much excited for the other films that will be announced at this year's D23 event, which by the way takes place this September. And we talked about how those films are going to surround the Old Republic era, because they will be connecting to other planned TV shows, which also will be based within the OR era as well. But that brings us to one of the recent updates that I believe is truly exciting, is that with Disney and Lucasfilm now beginning to focus on delivering Star Wars movies again, one big project that is moving along very well, that will be unveiled later this year in the first Old Republic movie that Disney is already working on in the early development phase. However, as exciting as this is, the big addition to this project's development involves Disney's plan to cast a certain character. Just recently, both MILA Kunis and her agent held discussions with Disney on becoming a part of the Old Republic movie, and that Disney believes that MILA is the perfect fit for Empress Valen, who will be a part of one of the many villains in the movie. Kunis is said to have a big interest in Star Wars and loves the franchise, and is ecstatic to become a big part of this project and role. Both John and Dave are already beginning to work on designs for Empress Valen, modeled after Kunis, of course. Now, Disney also wants her to get involved with one of their other brands, which may or may not be Marvel. We're not quite sure. The Old Republic movie is planned to bounce back and forth throughout time, and will have a specific format like the film Crash, where all characters' decisions impact others, except in this case, taking a place across different time periods within the Old Republic era. Now, let me just say one thing about this, that if you guys go ahead and look up Empress Valen, we'll try to put up images in here, I can absolutely 100% see where Disney is coming from, that they believe Kunis is the perfect fit for Empress Valen in this upcoming Old Republic movie. If you guys go ahead and just take a look at Kunis, and if you take a look at Empress Valen, they do have a similar look. You know, with the eyes and the facial structure, I think it could absolutely work. But what really stuns me even all the more about this is that Kunis is surprisingly a Star Wars fan. She likes the franchise. I mean, it's not all that surprising, really. I mean, she likes that kind of stuff. You know, you guys may or may not know, but she's one of the celebrities out there that plays World of Warcraft. So it's within that realm of her interest. So when you look at stuff like this, it's really interesting that they are really going out of their way to grab A-list actors and throwing them into the OR movies. We got Keanu Reeves, who is now up for the role of Darth Revan, who initially was up for the role of Darth Vitiate until John and Dave started realizing that majority of the fans want him as Revan, and John and Dave are very well known for making fan casts a reality. Same exact thing happened with Rosario Dawson. Fans were calling for her to be Ahsoka. John and Dave made it happen. As far as Iman Asfandi, fans were calling for him to become Ezra Bridger. They made that happen. And other characters as well in the Ahsoka series. So it's interesting that they are really kind of just authorizing fan casts into becoming a reality. That's one other thing that I love about Jon and Dave. Now, the thing about this is The Old Republic is said to be a very dark and gritty movie. They want to get Matt Reeves to become the main writer, but they're not quite sure about the scheduling conflicts because he is going to be very busy with the Batman 2 throughout 2024 because that's going to be a 25 release. Moving on. All right. Now, Kunis is said to be finalizing this deal to become part of what will eventually be a trilogy on Disney's end, and finalizing the plan is set to take place in August. On the other end of things, actor Hayden Christensen is getting ready to rehearse a big scene for The Mandalorian Season 4 that Jon and Dave are already written, of course, for the script. The scene that Hayden will be involved in is set to showcase Anakin Skywalker slaughtering Jedi during Order 66. However, in this flashback, the turn of events that takes place that are planned is set to unfold where Anakin momentarily snaps back from the dark side and realizes what he has done. The storyboard illustration description is said to focus on his eyes going from yellow to normal until Palpatine's voice reaches out to him, telling him to remember that this is how we save Padme as he snaps back to becoming Vader again. Now, what I like about this is that it does remind me of what Dave Filoni did in Star Wars Rebels, where Ahsoka sees Vader's mask broken and Anakin is back to becoming Anakin himself. You know, he's not Vader anymore. The eye color is different. Then when he goes back to becoming Vader, the eye turns back to being completely yellow. So Dave Filoni did elaborate on that before in the past, and it's really a moment where he comes back as Anakin for a split second at the snap of a finger like that. And so they are doing the same exact thing in this Mando 4 flashback. Again, this fits directly in with Hayden having this multi-show contract deal, I should say, that allows him to pop in and out as Anakin and Vader in multiple shows. And that seems to be an ongoing format by Jon and Dave, is that they're going to be giving us snippets of Order 66 flashbacks in almost every single Mandoverse show that's really going to elaborate on, new secrets arising out of that point in time. The fact that we had Kelleran in Mando Season 3, that was a very interesting move by Jon and Dave. I like how they gave, that opportunity to really create that character. But overall, I think that this is an expert plan on their end to really give us a different view of what Anakin is going through and the conflicts that he deals with. This is kind of almost reminiscent of when he's looking over the lava on Mustafar and Anakin is crying. It's because he knows what he's doing. He knows what he has to do, but he knows it's somewhat wrong, but he can't control it. So overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, everything revolving around the Old Republic and Hayden and Anakin, drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.